Vlog 88, Genesis. No, I'm not talking about the first chapter of the Bible. I'm talking about the progressive rock band popular in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Genesis was founded in 1967 at Charterhouse School in England. Peter Gabriel, Mike Rutherford, and Tony Banks joined with drummer Chris Stewart and guitarist Anthony Phillips to make the band. They went through 3 drummers before they finally hired Phil Collins in 1970. Anthony Phillips was also replaced by Steve Hackett, also in 1970. From 1971 to 1975, the 5-member group produced some of the finest progressive rock music ever. After The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway in 1974, Peter Gabriel left the band for a solo career on the subsequent live tour of The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. The band then made Phil Collins their main singer and did not replace Gabriel. The next 2 albums, they were a 4-piece band and continued with outstanding progressive rock. In 1978, guitarist Steve Hackett left the band. Rather than hire a replacement for him, he was a guitarist. Mike Rutherford, the bassist, did double duty on bass and guitar. The band moved away from progressive rock music and started to drift towards mainstream pop music. Hits like Mama, No Reply at All, Misunderstanding, Invisible Touch, I Can't Dance made Genesis extremely popular and extremely rich. But us diehard fans missed the classic progressive sound. In 1996, Phil Collins left the band. They replaced him with Ray Wilson and released an album called Calling All Stations in 1997. The album didn't do well, and Wilson was fired. The band hasn't recorded any new music since 1997. They went on a reunion tour in the 2000s and have a brief tour planned for this November in England. Who knows if that'll happen with COVID-19 or not. If you are only familiar with Genesis and their hits from the 80s and 90s, I recommend listening to Selling You by the Pound, Foxtrot, Wind and Wuthering, or Trick of the Tail. That's their best albums. That is the end of the vlog. Stay safe, everyone.